is going to read the message. It's a great message by Webster Kitchell, who was a former minister in Santa Fe or Albuquerque, I forget which. Santa Fe, a UU minister, and he wrote the Coyote series, so we are trading in Loki, who usually haunts these halls to do tricks. We're using Coyote Trickster today. So anything that goes awry, it's Coyote's fault, not ours. Right, Taylor?
Yes.
All right. Welcome, Taylor.
Hey. Hello, everyone. So this is Love is a Place, Yes is a World. And this has been slightly modified by Jose. So I'm going to be using exactly the words he would have had today for us. All right. So it would not surprise you to find that there is no liturgical UU wedding service. So I keep a collection of readings, vows, and prayers for weddings. Some might say my collection reads like ordering from a Chinese menu. We'll have a number 4, and for the vows, a number 3. And for the second prayer, let's throw in a little higher power, something spicy. There are 2 readings which couples rarely pick, but I keep them on the menu because I like them. And when they do select one of them, I feel very close and warm. One of them is a small piece from E.E. Cummings that reads, "Love is a place, and through this place of love, move with brightness of peace, all places. Yes is a world, and in this place of yes, live, skillfully curled, all worlds." The trouble with reading poetry at a service is that poetry usually takes some meditation to begin to understand it. It is impossible to meditate on the flow of words going by as they are spoken. So I want to meditate on these words with you, a few at a time, and hope they are seen by you as a seed, not a full-fledged flower, or a weed. Love is a place, says E.E. Cummings. Love is a place. Wait, isn't an emotion or something we feel, or a commitment which we take on, or a moral duty which we ought to do. Love is a place? Let's think. If the question is, where are you? Then the answer is, I am in love, not love is in me. I am not the place in which the feeling of love resides, or the commitment, or the duty. Love is the place in which I am. And I am referring to a physical place, perhaps a place in which I create in order to be in love. Perhaps a place at which 2 people create together between them. Perhaps it's a place that 3 or 4 people create, as in a family. Or maybe love is a place which a larger collection of people create when creating a just society, and that place which is created becomes a place people live in. The individual person who lives in the place of love lives in a different world, literally, than the person who lives in isolation and rejection. The place created by 2 people who are locked in emotionally, but not locked into love, is a very different place in which to live than a place in which there is love. Is a different place in which to live than a place in which there is love. The furniture of the place is different. The scenery of the place is different. Children who grow up in a place of love seem to have different lives than those who grow up in a place where other feelings are dominant. Children who live in a barren place may learn to value love in their adult relationships, but they will have lived very different lives getting to that place, different than the child who grew up in a place of love. Of course, if the child never experienced love as a place while growing up, then the child grown up may not understand that there is such a place as love. Cummings goes on, and through this place of love, move with brightness of peace, all places. All places. Through this place of love, move all places. I connect this with the place in which the Creator, whatever you call the Creator, was in, is at the point of creation. Whatever the source of the creative moment of the universe might have been, there was not a nothingness there. It was a place of love. Extrapolating what we know about creativity, the only inadequate word we have for this place is love. Nothingness is nothingness. Creation is an act of love, even if it is in a perverted, destructive form. But hopefully it is not. Hopefully, this place of creative love is a beneficent form. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that it was good, that God saw it was beneficent. And from that place of love move, with brightness of peace, all places. The second part of the poem is, yes is a world, and in this place of yes, live, skillfully curled, all worlds. If yes is a world, what is no? No is no. No is nothing. Nothing. In this place of yes, live, skillfully curled, all worlds, I see the image of a seed. An image of DNA is that place of yes, which is a seed, which is the DNA in which lie, skillfully curled, all worlds. What if the big creative force at the beginning had said no? No, I don't think we'll have a big bang. No, I don't think we won't let all those worlds unfold, skillfully curled as they are. Well, I suppose if the big creative force at the big beginning had said, no, there would be nothing, then we would not be here meditating on E.E. Cummings. And a lot of other worlds would not have uncurled from that seed. My youngest son is about to be married. It's next weekend. Like every parent, I assume he is too young to be saying yes. What does he know? Saying yes changes everything. I suppose we could make a rule that first marriages should not be allowed until the two principals turn 85. And have had a little experience with the world, have some idea of what they're saying when they say yes, and what they are saying yes to. Yet, how does anyone know what yes means until they have said yes and lived in a world in which is the consequence of having said yes, and lived in the place of love which they will hopefully create by saying yes? Apparently, someone has to say yes for the worlds to be created. Before someone says yes, the worlds are all skillfully curled in the world, but are not uncurled until the word yes is uttered. I think people who come to the marriage day understand this. Maybe not at a conscious level, but certainly at an anxiety level. Time and again, I hear people say they didn't hear a word the minister uttered at their wedding. I think they were listening to something deeper than the words of the service. They were listening to the pounding of their heart. They were in shocked disbelief that they were actually saying yes, and to all that could follow from saying that yes. It is one thing to meditate on the fact that I might say yes sometime. It is another thing to meditate on the fact that I did say yes. But it is an existential moment of creation. When one is saying yes, a world is being created. A world will uncurl from that yes. Most of our saying yes is not as dramatic as a wedding day. Most of the time, friends don't fly in from the coast to see us stand and hear us say yes. Most of the time, we are not surrounded by friends and relatives toasting to our health and future and happiness just because we said yes. Most of the time, we just say yes quietly, sometimes enthusiastically, sometimes with reservations. And having those reservations is nothing to feel guilty about. They show we have said yes enough times to be aware that when we do say yes, we are uncurling worlds. Yet someone has to say yes to those worlds, or they will not become. In the innocence of the Garden of Eden, or some other such place of perfection, they would perhaps not be so much emotion about saying yes. All our lives would be a yes. But in the world we inhabit, there seems to be a lot of no. Be careful. Don't get overextended. It could get worse. In a recent election, my head told me to vote for the Democrats, but my heart told me to vote Green. I had never thought before of my head and my heart being in different places politically. Usually, when I vote, I choose between the lesser of two status quos. But this time, I had a choice between two status quos and a young, untried political outlook. And in this less than perfect world, I was urged by friends to vote for one of the status quos. But what if my progressive yes creates a world I didn't intend, a reactionary world? Is it any wonder that we hesitate to say yes? It's not surprising that we're tempted to say it doesn't matter what we say, that the world will go on meaninglessly whether we say yes to it or no. Not true, not true. When we say yes, when we are in the place of yes, all worlds are skillfully curled up there. We bring them to birth with our yes. It is no accident, I'm sure, that E.E. Cummings paired love and yes. Love is a place, yes is a world. Again, I don't know exactly what E.E. Cummings had in mind behind his words, but what I see in those words is that love is a place in which yes builds worlds. That love is a place which hopefully we are in. And being in that place of love, I say yes. And that yes builds worlds. Perhaps you're not used to such language. We don't get much poetry these days. Poetry is hard work, and we drown in a daily deluge of words and images, but very little poetry. Most of our culture is built on implicit messages. Love has become a sneer late-night comics play for laughs. Yes is attacked by cable pundits. The implicit messages are, lay low, don't stick out your neck. The game is for the shrewd, the powerful, the ruthless. Take our crap and shut up if you know what's good for you. Our world created this culture. Take our crap, shut up, sneer at love, don't be a jerk. By acquiescing, we create such a world in our place. The poet says love is a place, yes is a world. The poet reminds us of what the big creative force did when the big creative force, acting out of love, said yes. The poet reminds us what lovers create when lovers say yes. The poet reminds us of the mystic truth that we are of the same spirit as the big first cause, at the start of the universe. Perhaps our culture needs more poets. My last words today are those of E.E. Cummings. Love is a place, and through this place of love, move, with brightness of peace, all places. Yes in a world, and in this place of yes, live skillfully curled all worlds.